Radial engines, how do they work? Welcome to the Superpilotish channel. My name's Graham Wilson, and today in my basement, I'm going to be talking about radial engines and how do they work. Radial engines, what are those things? It's those funny old airplane engines. They're kind of round, and they got all the cylinders like around in a radial design. So yeah, that's what we're talking about today. And I'm still kind of fooling around a little bit. You can see the very corner of my second monitor over here, so I gotta be all pro and hide that. So I'm gonna be showing you a little diagram or a little trying to find like just before the show got on, like some animations on how that stuff works. So anyways, I did have a request and at the Super Pilotish channel, we do take requests, and you're wondering, what am I going to be doing any work today? I got the old shop coat on, but I was thinking kind of like mechanic, machinist, and then I was thinking maybe engineer. So I got my Scotty shirt on here. It says, what's it say? I'm giving her all she's got. That's right. We give her all she's got on the Super Pilotish channel. And yeah, so feeling kind of technical today. And I'm going to be getting dirty down here a little bit more, kind of moving stuff around in the basement after I got my installation in. So yeah, so okay, what do I know about radial engines? I guess I was first exposed to radial engines. There was the very first machine shop I worked at. They made crankshafts for a Pratt and Whitney radial engine, and so it's like an old engine, but eventually, the crankshafts wear out and the engines time out, and you got to get different parts replaced. And oh, hey Dan, hey Gafuk, and so it was like this just this funny looking thing, and it was like it was very it was just a funny looking part, so the crankshaft of this engine. Okay, let's see, get the old whiteboard out here, and it didn't really look like too much. It looked looks kind of like that. Big deal. But it had a spline on here so you could put the propeller on there. And yeah, and I had all these little holes in it in weird angles and everything. And this part down here had to be ground. So you had to fit this thing here, like if you ever see any outside diameter or OD grinders, it's for making like a shaft and make it very precise around the circle of that shaft right there. But you'd have to get it was this funny, they had this big OD grinder, and you had to put weird counterweights on it and everything so that it could rotate around this shaft here. So this whole thing was going around, and then you had a counterweight over here, and the whole thing was all going around, and it was like really weird to watch. And this was actually pretty deep in here too, so it was a huge grinding wheel, and it went really deep in there, and this was going right. It was really something to see. And the guy that worked on that, his name was Julie, but don't make fun of his name because his name is Julie, because it was actually short for Julius, and everyone called him Julie. And he was the most senior machinist in the shop, and he got to work on the trickiest, most fussy part, he had this all these jigs and fixtures and everything made up, so you could drill like some weird angle like this, like all the way through, big long drills that are really skinny. And yeah, so Julie was a very good machinist. And yeah, so that was the crankshaft that they made. And I'm like, I couldn't figure out, how does that go into an airplane? Okay, the propeller goes on there, but you got all these cylinders and stuff, and there's just like one crankshaft, or like there's just one shaft there, and how does that all connect and everything? So I didn't really know. And oh, hey, Wrench, see you in here too. Okay, so that was going back a few years. That's what that looked like. And then let's clean up the whiteboard here a little bit. So later on, when I became a pilot, and I learned all about engines and stuff like that. Even if you become a private pilot, just you get your license so you can just go fly around with your buddies on the weekend and nice days, good weather. You still have to know how an engine works. It's not like if you're driving your car, who cares? I'm just gonna adjust my camera here a little bit. Okay, and then so you can just put gas in the car and go. You don't even have to know how an engine works, but even at the very lowest level of being a pilot, you have to know the very basics of how an engine works. I guess the thinking there is that, like, if you're up in the air, you can't just pull over to the side of the road if you have a problem with your engine. So it helps you to be able to troubleshoot. Okay, what can I do to, what's happening with the engine? How can I fix or do something up in the air so the engine will keep running? So, okay, I think it's for many, many people. Okay, they kind of know how an engine works. It's you got a whole. We're looking at like this little diagram. That's what do we got here? Say we got some kind of a spark plug up here. Look at that. There's your spark plug, and then what else? We got some like intake and got some valves so stuff can come in and go out. Now on an airplane, there'd actually be two of these, so probably one here, one in the front, one in the back, because they have kind of separate ignition systems on an airplane. And then in here, we would have a piston that goes up and down. All right, so here's our piston that goes up and down. And that would be attached to, there's my piston going up and down. And then that's attached to the round thing that goes around and around. How do we do that? Okay, so that guy there, this thing goes up and down, and this thing will rotate. It might rotate around and around, so that when this comes down, this will rotate, and that'll be at the bottom, kind of. So get the idea there. There's your piston going up and down. You have your big explosion. So one of these will bring in your fuel and air mixture. Okay, brings it in. So this is going up and down the whole time. Brings it in there. Then it comes up here, compresses that all. Spark plug ignites it. Makes it go down. Boom. There's your power stroke. And then it comes back up again, and then it gets all the junk that was just exploded up here or burned up here, gets rid of that, and then sucks in more air, compresses, bang, blow, all that other fun stuff. Oh, hey, Corey, good to see you back. And so that's how, and then you would have in your car, your regular little car, you might have 4 of these in a row going around this little shaft and making your car go. Aha. So what's that got to do with radial engines? Now, that's the weird thing there. For your radial engine, okay, you would have something. Now, because this little guy has to, okay, for regular engine, this thing here, that doesn't move around, okay? And that's attached to your, I guess, they go into your transmission or something like that. But now for a radial engine, they'll have one of these guys. And how would we do this here now? So we've got this. This will go. How do we do that now? So you have a rod coming down here like that. How would you do that? There's a round one. Oh, yeah, here we go. So we got, that might be hard to explain. Okay. Well, basically, you got, okay, never tried this before explaining it. So we got something, maybe it looks like this. And so this little guy here, now this is just going to move up and down. And this guy here is going to be kind of moving around and around. And then you'll have other pistons kind of coming off here like this. So they'll have the main one on this one main shaft, and then you'll have some smaller ones kind of connected over here. They all kind of do the same thing. Okay, and that'll be, So you say this is for a 5-cylinder engine. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as these are going up and down, these are going in and out. And this is where I'm going to show you the cool animation. Okay, let's see if I can do my interesting little... Okay, what do we got here? We got... I'm going to show you a couple of these. All right, here we go. Let's see if I can do this. All right, now we are going to have... This is your moving engine. So that's what it looks like for a radial engine when it's going up and down and all around and everything like that. So we got... how do we do this here now? Yeah, so we got this main guy here. This is your main, that's your main, I guess would be connecting rod here. So you can kind of see this guy here. That goes right around that main shaft that I showed you, that one thing that was ground, the main crankshaft. And then the other little ones, they're going off the side. Little guys going off the side like this. So that's these other little guys, like over here, down here, over here, and that one. So that's how the radial engine kind of works. And one of the cool things that I saw before they came out with this design here, they had it set up so instead of this thing all jiggling around and dancing around like that. Oh, hey Shecky, hey Jordan. So what else we got here? Yeah, so I saw when I was at the Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio, they had the old like kind of pre-World War I radial engine, and what it had is like instead of just the pistons going up and down like that was and moving one little crankshaft here, it's like all the pistons went around. And it was, and then they just attached the propeller right to all the pistons, or like to the outside, and everything all turned around. So you can imagine how much momentum is going around there. And you'd have to use a whole lot of rudder, that's for sure, to be flying that one. So that is roughly how it works. And so all the timing, what do we got here? So all the timing of this stuff, that's still operated by, it was basically one round kind of cam that operates all the lifters and everything like that to exhaust and intake valves and spark and all that other fun stuff. There we go. So that's there we go. That's how the how it works. So, oh, hey Shecky, am I still getting popping on the mic? Oh man, that's a bummer. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna shut this down here. Okay, yeah. So I'm kind of experimenting with all this double screen stuff, and oh, no one else here is popping. I don't know. I was checking. That's one thing. Yesterday, I re-listened to the show, and it sounded like my voice was kind of overdriving the mic, and I thought maybe, I don't know if my little connection is gonna. Yeah, if it's a bad connection on the wire or something like that. I have a backup wire. Anyways, I'll have to figure out some other stuff. And hey, Al, good to see you here too. All right, so that's how that works. And I was going to show you something else here. Oh, yeah. And then I was also thinking when I was in college, there was a bonus question. Okay, that's my rough explanation on how to use how the radial engine works. Okay, and then we're going to do some math magic here on the superpilotish channel. I'll get the old calculator out. Well, that's still kind of dirty from all the insulation that was around here getting put in. Okay, we're going to do some calculations. So, and I'm just going to kind of do this on the fly because I was going to figure it out before. And yeah, here we go. I'm going to check out right now to see. I wanted to see, yeah, like I was saying, it was a bonus question on one of my tests in college that I did get wrong. And Okay, there we go. I'm just kind of Googling something right now. I didn't get to it before. It was like how many spark plugs did the Spruce Goose have? So the Spruce Goose had, okay, what do we got here? Oh, it's the Hughes H4 Hercules. Okay. So anyways, the Spruce Goose, that was the one that was made by Howard Hughes, and it was made all out of wood and everything like that. Right now it's kind of on display in Long Beach, California, and great big huge flying boat. And the question was, how many spark plugs were on the Spruce Goose? I just Google searched it here. So it's got 8. Okay, it's got 8 engines. Okay, and each engine had 28 cylinders. Okay, so we got 8 times 28, and then so each cylinder would have 2 spark plugs. All right, what's our magic number here? That's a whole lot of spark plugs. So we go 8 times 28 times 2. Okay, so the answer is, and I got this totally wrong back in college, how many spark plugs does the Spruce Goose have? 448 spark plugs. How would you like to change that? Yeah, so they had 8 28 cylinder engines. And so what you can do with a radial engine is you can just have, I'll kind of bring this back here. So what we got is you got this here, 5. What you can do is stack them together. So instead of having one layer of these 5, stack them together, and you got 10-cylinder engine now. Stick another one on there. Now you got a 30-cylinder engine. So, or whatever, no, 10, 15-cylinder engine, and so on and so forth. So I guess a 28, what would that be? How many would that be? 28 divided by 8. Maybe you got a 9-cylinder engine. Wait, no. What's my math here? 28 divided by 7 cylinders, maybe? Oh, yeah. So that would be it. So if they had 4 rows of 7-cylinder engines, then that'd be a 28-cylinder engine. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So 448 spark plugs if you wanted to do a spark plug change on your Spruce Goose. So needless to say, they didn't put that into didn't put it into commercial production during World War II. And yep, there you go. Shecky got it there too. What we got here? There we go. Shecky's doing the math here. 56 times 8 minus 400. Wait a minute. That's not my math. So anyways, that's one way of doing things, I guess. I didn't even do that. And yeah, so there we go. That is a whole lot of spark plugs on that plane. Okay, and yeah, so that is about it here. I'll go through and see if there's any, see if we got any questions or anything like that. It seems to me I saw a few pop in here. What's this? So Wrench is saying here, air show in Kansas City has an old round engine helicopter, Vietnam era. I don't really. I guess you could have that. Yeah, and that's another thing to mention too for these radial engines is that they're all air cooled, and most engines out there that are airplane engines are air cooled. Like the Volkswagen Beetle, the original old one, it had an air-cooled engine, and that was originally an aircraft engine. So good old Mr. Hitler decided to say, hey, let's put in, or Dr. Porsche, whoever was in charge, said, okay, let's put this, we got this aircraft engine, let's put it in the little car, and it's less production cost if it's air-cooled, and it's lighter if it's air-cooled. So that's kind of why airplanes have air-cooled engines generally. Some don't, like, you got your Mustangs and Spitfires and all those cool planes. They're water cooled or antifreeze cooled or something like that, liquid cooled. Okay. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, we got Wrench is adding his 2 cents in here, his engineering expertise, and original round engine gnome rotary crankshaft bolted to firewall. Okay, engine and cylinders spun around. They believe necessary to spin engine and keep cool. Yeah, and that's what I saw in the Air Force Museum. That was really neat to see. And they just propellers right on there. And I can't imagine that much centrifugal force and stuff going around. Okay, what else we got here? Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, here we go. Another question here. And I'm not really sure the answer. Why always odd number of cylinders? When I was at the Air Force Museum, there was, I think they had a 4-cylinder radial engine there too. So it's not necessarily always odd numbers of cylinders. I think you can pretty much figure out. I mean, some are. I don't know. I guess some are more popular than others, for whether you got a 5-cylinder or a 9-cylinder or engine. So it's kind of like, like even on the Spruce Goose, they had a 28-cylinder engine, so it's not really an odd number there. So I don't know. I would say it's not always, but the thing is, I would think the reason that you would have something that's like a little off is so that when on the power stroke, it's not going directly over top of the crank. Could be just enough at an angle to kind of get it going around. But I guess you could do that with anything. So, so my answer there, Wrench, why always the odd number of cylinders? I don't know. There you go. How's that for the official answer? I think that's one of the things that if you're a flight instructor, it's kind of like you're trained to do to say, I don't know. Like the best instructors will say, I don't know. Because like you don't want to be just like BSing your student and just giving them wrong information, or she's going to go crash a plane because you just made something up. And so you can't really do that. And yeah, that's right. So Al's saying here, that's a weird shake weight. Oh, you know what? I'm going to bring this back to see. I haven't had it where we got the comments over here and then the split screen. We'll see what happens there. Oh, okay. Yeah. So we got the very good. So we got the what do we got here? Whoop, let's see if we can get this here. Yeah. Does that go onto there? Okay. All right. So there we go. The comment shows up with the split screen. That's good. And one of the reasons I wanted to fool around with my little split screen dual display thing here was I'm going to be doing. Okay. I'm just reading some more little comments here. But yeah, on Friday, I'm going to be doing my little split screen here. And I'm going to be fooling around with what I got to make sure I got your things. Here's another one. Wrench is always good at stumping me here. Are there 2-stroke radial engines? That's another one that I don't know. I haven't heard of that. And generally 2-stroke engines, they never really caught on too much in aviation. I think it's probably some ultralights and stuff had 2-stroke engines, but I think it's just kind of I guess it would be probably they're not as reliable, I guess, as the 4-strokes. Okay. Okay, what else we got here? We got all of our math, we got our comments, and all kinds of fun stuff going on. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh, wow. I got a lot of comments here today, so that's cool. Okay, here we go. All right, very good. And none your business. Good to see you here too. All right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, what I'm going to be doing is on Friday, I'm going to be doing a little experiment with AI. So I signed up for Chat GPT, the cheapo free version, and excuse me, I'm just gonna fool around with it, and like you can ask me questions, or you can, and then I'll see if I can ask AI questions. And I want to see. I just did. I've only ever asked it like a couple questions, like, "Is the superpilotish channel awesome?" And then it's like, we can't talk about that. Well, because I guess the freebie version of this AI stuff, Chat GPT, is the free stuff is based on information from 2021 and before. So I wasn't even, the superpilotish channel wasn't in its current form, we'll say, in 2021. I had some old cartoons from like 12 years ago, but that's about it. So we'll ask AI some questions, and I kind of want to see. We'll see how it would deal with, like maybe ask it weight and balance questions for airplanes, or how far is it from here to here in an airplane, direct line versus roads and stuff like that. So we're having an AI special on Friday here, so that should be cool. And uh, I haven't seen any fantastic, stuff out of it yet, and I'm just I'm just gonna fool around with it live here, because, and if it screws up, I don't care. So I got to do something on this show, right? And okay, so that is about it. Oh, here we go. And Corey's got a little comment here. Careful, those are programmed by leftists. I do want to. I mean, here at the Super Pilotish channel, we try not to talk about politics and religion and genitalia and skin color, but I kind of do want to see, does it have like any kind of like bias about how it might say like, oh, electrical airplanes are way better than gas powered airplanes, or will it have some kind of some sort of aviation bias, or even like that, oh, general aviation is terrible for the environment, or or jets are evil, or something like that. I don't know. So oh, here we go. We got another little question here. Okay, yeah, so Gafuk is wondering, do radial engines use glow plugs, not spark plugs? No, okay, radial engines, they're like just a regular gas engine, gasoline engine, I guess, even though it uses high octane leaded fuel still. But yeah, so they use spark plugs just like your car. Anytime I've ever seen glow plugs, that's just kind of on diesel powered cars will have glow plugs. And then I'm not sure, there are a few. So, I'm trying to think. There's a Diamond Twin Star. It has diesel engines that, well, they run jet fuel, which is basically diesel. And I'm not sure if they have glow plugs in there. I think they do, but those engines are really heavily computer controlled, where it's got a FADEC in there, which is FADEC. It's like, what is it? I forget what that stands for, but it's like electronic control, something automatic. Anyways, the engine's all controlled by a computer, basically. And how did I know not know what a FADEC is? Flight autonomous digital engine control. I don't know. I'm guessing again. But anyways, yeah. So no glow plugs. That's maybe in some engines, but not radials, as far as I know. Okay, and yeah, so that's about it. We're going to be talking to Mr. AI, Mr. ChatGPT on Friday, and let's see how good or how bad it is. All right, I think it should be kind of cool. And yeah, so just kind of that is about it. So it'll be on Friday because I do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern, and we'll just kind of shut her down. So thank you for watching. Bye.